Maths. Wow, what an excellent, remarkable, memorable, extraordinary, powerful, emotional motion picture. Um, it is about losing someone dear, sons in both cases, both families that are involved in this. Excellent, again. Film. PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, is what the protagonists have to deal with from different perspectives, but that's a common denominator, if you will. And there is also the theme of forgiveness. Forgiveness would be, of course, for Christians, religious people, part of the doctrine, part of the faith, fundamental attitude that believers should have. Well, if they're on the right side of the doctrine, they have to forgive those that have trespassed. Those who have poisoned and betrayed my brother. That famous Ezekiel 29, whatever, speech in Pulp Fiction. Forgiveness is also key in positive psychology, thinking the How of Happiness, Sonia Lubomitsky, wonderful book. You should read it. And 12 rules. Each has to take the test and see what fits best. 4 out of 12. But that's forgiveness. And there's an example that I will mention. The film made me think of that. So, in order to cope with adversity and trauma, we have to have a strategy, and when we face adversity and catastrophe, as in the case of these people here, forgiveness is one way out, if you will, from the deep hole, the abyss. And the example there is somewhat unbelievable, but it happened. I forgot the details, but broadly I think it's something like a trip to South Africa, and few people get shot by some black people who are white. We have to consider, I think it would set the background, apartheid. Black people have been for, well, not just decades, I was thinking decades, but centuries. Yeah, maybe more than a couple of centuries, oppressed by the white colonialists. So they came out and with a sort of a hatred and wish to pay back. Anyway, the family of the victim, one victim in particular, came to South Africa to the trial, talked to the killer, one, there were a few, again, I'm confused about them, and not only the mother in particular forgave this man, but they went on to cooperate. They created something, an NGO, where they talk to others and try to heal, to do good. Let's put it like that. So that's going beyond the limit. At the other extreme, I just finished yesterday Time to Kill. John Grisham, and that theme, which is there, if your child, if you have a daughter, I have, what do you do? She gets raped and she's beaten, she's tortured by two white trash, drug pushers, no good. And then, spoiler alert, but that happens early in the beginning. The father kills them, and then he's on trial, and there's this question: what would you? I mean, do we give him a medal, as some suggest, or put him on trial, which is happening, and then sentence him maybe to the gas chamber? But there's this idea, which is not forgive, just give him hell. Death is too good for that. As I said, emotional. So we have two families, two parents on each side. We have Jason Isaacs, or Isaacs, I'm not sure how. Interesting, usually a villain. I thought when I saw this of him as the British vicious officer in The Patriot with Mel Gibson, and had Heath Ledger, the late big brother. And then there are others, wonderful as Jay here. All four are. Well, I'm not a fan of the actress playing Gail. Here also, I was thinking, it's like that. But still, I think the film is so fantastic that even with this caveat, if you will, it still delivers. Not entertainment, that's not the point. But it's so much in terms of emotion, in terms of thought-provoking, as I said, the theme of forgiveness, and Doug, wonderful as Linda, and also the incredible Reed Birney, incredible performances as Richard. So we have the parents of a boy who was killed by another. Jay and Gail's son was killed by the son of Linda and Richard. And they meet together at the Episcopalian church. This is a small joke there. Being Episcopalian means, I don't know, being very relaxed, too relaxed. Maybe I got a little bit of the flavor, but not real taste of what the joke was. Interesting and good. And there's decency there. There's humanity. Many of the characters' strengths, by the way, which you find if you want to check how you're doing on Martin Seligman's page. But I'm not optimistic that you're still there, by now. So to give more, Google this or that for Martin Seligman character strengths, and so they start with a sort of an understandable hostility, especially Jay and Gail. But then they get to understand why didn't you see where this is going? Why didn't you prevent this? Our son died, and he was shot. And then it's the notion that he also had to suffer. I mean, 6 minutes they discussed this, what they saw, what they could. Then Linda reveals at one point that devastating, her son was violent towards her, violent in language clearly, but he threatened to, I forgot the words, let's not quote the biggest shit out of her. And then she says, I wish I stayed. She went from the room, locked the door. He would come after her. I wish I stayed there and allowed him to kick me, beat me. And as I said, very emotional, wonderful. Not easy to watch at times. This is not comedy. That was just light Episcopalian thing, and then it's all about tragedy. And to end on this one, a positive note, which is also maybe for the film, the triumph of forgiveness.